The United States Transcontinental Railroad was built during the years 1862 and finished during the spring of 1869. In 1862, the President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, signed the Pacific Railroad Act that began the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. The goal of the Transcontinental Railroad was to connect the United States from sea to shining sea. There were two railroad companies hired to build the tracks. Central Pacific started in Sacramento and worked eastbound, while the Union Pacific Company worked west, starting in Omaha. For 3 years, both companies struggled to keep workers because of the brutal conditions of the job. In 1865, the Central Pacific decided to start hiring Chinese immigrants that were living on the West Coast who were desperate for work. They proved to be tireless laborers in brutal work conditions. Central Pacific had to build trusses and blast through the Rocky Mountains to lay tracks. They used gunpowder and nitroglycerin to blow through the mountains. In 1867, they finally broke through the mountains. Although the Union Pacific progressed much faster than the Central, they had their fair share of struggles. They suffered bloody attacks from the Native Americans who were threatened by the white man and the Iron Horse. Along the new tracks laid by the Union Pacific, new settlements started popping up. These settlements became the start of the Wild West, home of the cowboys, full of drinking, gambling, and prostitution. By 1867, the Union had laid 4 times more track than the Central Pacific. In 1869, the two companies were 1 mile apart. President Ulysses S. Grant withheld money until they decided on a meeting point. They came to an agreement to meet at Promontory Summit, which is north of Salt Lake. On May 10, 1869, people gathered at Promontory Summit to watch as the final spike was driven by Leland Stanford. The Golden Spike connected the Central Pacific and the Union Pacific Railroads. Hundreds of miles of the railroad are still used today.